Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort, and I am here with you this week for the Writer's Quote of the Week. Now, one of the things that we've been doing is going over the show formulas and looking at the numbers involved, and we're really trying to reformulate things to make them more palatable. Just looking at the numbers, it didn't look like our Writer's Quote of the Week was very popular, so maybe that is because a quote does not have to be a conversation. So these will probably be Adrian videos from now on, as well as Writer's Workshop being Adrian videos. Dalton will be bringing you, I think he said, lipstick recommendations and makeup tutorials. I think that's what it was. So, without further ado, the Writer's Quote of the Week comes to us this week from Ernest Hemingway, Papa himself, and it is one of the granddaddies of all writers' quotes. It is, "Write drunk, edit sober." One more time, write drunk, edit sober. Now, I think it's important to take the spirit of this quote into consideration. Write drunk, that is to write freely, to write without restraint, to write without thought. There is another quote that says, "A sober man's thoughts are a drunk man's words." Now that goes a little bit further into what it means is, don't edit before you ever talk. Don't edit on the first draft. Just go. Again, this is telling on the fact that alcohol frees you. It keeps you from worrying. First drafts should be written in a state as close to ecstasy as possible. First drafts are for feeling, because emotion is something that is incredibly difficult to edit in later. It's always easy to edit out emotion when it becomes melodrama, but oftentimes I found that when you try to edit emotion in, that is, make a character's stakes higher after the first draft, or a character's mental state in the first draft, if you try to put the notches up on the second draft, it becomes melodrama. It becomes something that it was not written to be. In this spirit, alcohol is not necessary if you can attain a free-flowing state naturally. If you can just, the minute you can sit down and just boom, you're on it. That's the state you're going for. And if you don't need help to get there, you don't need help to get there. Now, obviously, the second part of this quote is edit sober. That is, edit free from distraction. One of the voices that must go into a second draft is that of an antsy but dedicated reader. Antsy because you want to make sure that your writing is entertaining, but dedicated enough to remove distractions. Not just alcohol, but music, as well as doubt, as well as friends, as well as maybe you've got an ex that started texting you out of nowhere because your ex has a man with a real job now, and he's a real adult, and as a real adult, he doesn't from time to time forget to pay the heat bill, so that you have to spend your entire, anniversary pretending to be Eskimos because it's that cold in your part. You know, I thought it was romantic, all right? I thought, another quote to keep in mind here is often attributed to Christopher Hitchens, but I'm fairly positive that Hitch aped it from Orwell, if I'm not mistaken, and that is that alcohol is a wonderful slave, but a terrible master. Don't become dependent on the stuff in order to get your mind in the state for productivity. Otherwise, editing will become one hell of a task, and you won't be able to write no matter where you are, no matter what the time of day. You will be putting limitations on your productivity. You'll be putting limitations on what it is that you can accomplish and when it is that you can accomplish it. However, to bring this full circle, another quote from Papa. Hemingway said, "We are all apprentices in a craft where no one becomes a master." So if you put those quotes all together and do the math, what is that saying? Also, to all of these troubled genius writers out there, even Hemingway said that no one's a master, so calm that down a little bit. So, Let us know if this setup for the Writer's Quote of the Week worked any better, if it was more profitable for you. And if it was profitable for you, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you have writer friends, share it with them on Twitter and Facebook.